Hi ma'am, good afternoon po. I'm Jenny Rosel de la Cruz, BSIT. Ang topic po namin is about the Proclamation of the Philippines Independence. The summary of the Proclamation of the Philippines Independence. Every year, the country commemorates the anniversary of the Philippine Independence, proclaimed on June 12, 1898. The province of Cavite ended. Such event is a significant turning point in the history of the country because it signaled the end the 333 years of Spanish colonization. This is in spite of the historical importance of the document reveals on the rationale and circumstances of the historical day in Cavite. The declaration was a short 2,000-word document which summarized the reason behind the revolution against Spain, the War of Independence, and the future of the new republic under Emilio Aguinaldo. From here, the proclamation proceeds with a brief historical since Magellan's arrival in Visayas until the Philippines Revolution, with specific details about the later, especially after the Battle of Biak na Bato had collapsed. The document narrates the spread of the movement like an electric spark through different towns and provinces like Bataan, Pampanga, Batangas, Laguna, and Moro, and the quick decline of Spanish forces. In the same provinces, the revolt also reached Visayas. Thus, the independence of the country was ensured. The document also mentions Rizal exclusion, calling it an unjust, and the Cavite Mutiny of January 1872, what caused the infamous execution of the martyred native priests Jose Burgos, Mariano Gomez, Jacinto Zamora. The Proclamation of Independence also established Republic would be led under the dictatorship of the beginning of the Proclamation.
History of the Philippine flag. There have three women swing the flag at 535 Morrison's Hills Road in Hong Kong. They were Marcela Agoncillo, daughter Lorenza, and Delfina Herbosa, di Natividad, nieces of Dr. Ceresa. It was first flown and waved by General Emilio Aguinaldo in Kawit, Cavite on June 12, 1898 during the Independence Day celebration. The concept and main feature of the Philippine flag. The concept was to reflect the ideas and inspiration of the Filipino people. The equilateral triangle, which many believe was a memento of Katipunan standard. The three Ks of Katipunan, kataas-taasan, kagalang-galangan, Katipunan ng bayan, were sometimes arranged in triangular manner. Considering also the most of the insignias of the Katipunan were patterned after Masonic emblem, triangular in shape. In the center of the white equilateral triangle is a golden sun with 8 rays and 3 5-pointed stars in each corner. The 8 rays represented the first 8 provinces and courageously defined and revolted against the Spaniards, which is the Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Pampanga, Tarlac, Batangas, Laguna, and Nueva Ecija. Similar revolts spread to the other parts of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The three geographical areas represent by three 5-point stars. Let's talk about color in our flag. So first, color white symbolizes purity and peace. The blue color symbolizes the high political purpose and ideals. The last color is red. It stands for courage, bravery, heroism, and willingness to shed blood in defense of the country of the Filipino patriots are embodied in the red field. This often overlooked detail reveals much about the historical accurate meaning behind the most widely known national symbol in the Philippines. It is not known by many, for example, that white triangle was derived from the symbols of Katipunan. The red and blue colors of the flag are often associated with courage and peace, respectively. Our basic education omits the fact that those colors were taken from the flags of the United States. While it can always argue that symbolic meaning can always change and be reprinted, the original symbolic meaning of something presents of several historical truths that can explain the subsequent event, which unfolded after the Declaration of Independence on June 12, 1898.
So good day. First is I would like to introduce myself. I'm General P. Spinenberger. The analysis of the Proclamation of the Philippine Independence. As mentioned earlier, our examination of the document of the Declaration of Independence can reveal some often overlooked historical truths about this important event in the Philippine history. The land of agrarian crisis filled by the numerous Filipino peasants in the 19th century. This is ironic especially when renowned Philippine Revolution historian Teodoro Ucilio, the common revolutionary soldiers fought in the revolution for the hope of owning the lands that they were telling once the freer states in different provinces like Batangas and Laguna dissolved. Such as aspects and realities of the evolutionary struggle were either unfamiliar to the middle-class revolutionary leaders like Emilio Aguinaldo, Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista, and Felipe Buencamino. The Treaty of Paris was an agreement signed between Spain and the United States of America regarding the ownership of the Philippine Island and other Spanish colonies in South America. The agreement ended the short-lived Spanish-American War. The treaty was signed on December 10, 1896, so 6 months after the revolutionary government declared the Philippine independence. The Philippines was sold to the United States at $20 million and effectively undermined the sovereignty of the Filipinos after the revolutionary victory. The Americans occupied the Philippines immediately, which resulted in the Philippines-American War that lasted until the earliest year of the 20th century. The proclamation also gives us the impression on how the victorious revolutionary government of Aguinaldo historicized the struggle for independence. The execution of the Gomborza, this showed that they saw this event as a significant awakening of the Filipinos in the real conditions of the nation under Spain, Jose Rizal legacy, and martyrdom. The Katipunan as the pioneer of the revolutionary movement was only mentioned one toward the end of the document. There was no mention of the Katipunan's foundation, the enemy between Aguinaldo's Magdalo and Bonifacio's Magdiwang in the Katipunan is no secret in the pages of our history. On the contrary, the war led by Aguinaldo's men with the forces of the United States were discussed in detail. That's all.